Hey there, hon. Good girl, honey. I got water for you, hon. A lot of water for you, hon. Good girl, hon. Hang in there, hon. I got a lot of water for you, hon. Hey, Julie, how you doing? I'm on I-20. I could have called AAA, but my buddy's coming. So he's only about 45 minutes away with the car trailer, because you never know how long AAA is going to take, and I have Daisy with me. It's not really that hot out, but yeah, I had an oil line break on this thing. Yeah, I appreciate it, Rusty. No, my buddy's coming up. Thank you. He's only like 45 minutes away. How you doing, Julie? How you doing, Rusty? Just party. I had one guy stop in a tow truck. Nice of him. Was at home. Yeah, I brought her with me. I got water for her. It's not that hot today. I'm gonna open this back window. Stay there, hon. Stay there, honey, okay? Stay there, hon. Stay there, girl. You're a good girl. No, it's an oil pressure line. I looked it up as I was sitting here, and it's a known defective part. Yeah, I got water. Yeah, my buddy's on his way. He'll be here in about 35 minutes. I was going to call AAA, but you never know how long they're going to take. I got AAA Plus, which means they would tow me back, but sometimes it takes forever, and it's kind of hot out. Hang on. Hey, Conan. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. I'll get it. I'll get it fixed. I looked it up, as I said. I looked it up while after I pulled over, and this is a known problem with these Toyotas. I wish the place where I had all my maintenance, I had it all gone through about 5 months ago. You'd have thought they'd looked up those service bulletins. Yeah, nah, that behind me is a truck weigh station. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not too bad that I overcast. It's like, I think it's 84. I got a lot of water. Yeah, AAA works pretty good, but if it wasn't hot out, I would have just not even called him and called AAA. But I don't really, if it's 3 hours out here, I don't want her. These dogs are kind of susceptible to heat anyway, even with water. I mean, it helps, but I just don't want her out here this long if it was going to take forever. Plus, the place where I'm going to get it towed, it's a guy that's opening a new repair facility, and they're not open yet. And I don't know if that's going to be some bullshit with AAA, so. No, what happened is I had a light come on, the maintenance. What happens is these lights for these oil changes, they come on at 3,000, not 5. And I use that 50-50 blend, so it's 5,000, not 3. So I'm used to the light coming on. And then the red light flickered on oil. So I pulled over, and it was a quart low, and I thought, wow, so I filled it up with a quart, and then I thought, well, hopefully I can make it home. If that light comes on again, I'll just pull over, and that's exactly what happened. That light came on again, and I was 2 quarts low. So I just pulled it over, shut it off, it didn't overheat, and I'll get it fixed. That's right, Conan. Well, I know what it'll do, I wouldn't say it's smart. That same thing happened to me on that Astro van about a year ago. I know what happens when no oil is in the engine, so I really didn't have a choice. Believe me, I tried milking it out. I had some extra oil, and I thought, well, if it gets low, I'll just put it in and make it home. But It's leaking so bad. I mean, you'd need a 55-gallon drum in the back. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this thing anyway. I don't like it that much anyway. I don't like that big thing in the middle, that console. It gets good gas mileage, but gas mileage isn't everything. And it's real touchy on the steering wheel. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I've driven it like 1,000 miles this last week, but I might get something else. I'm gonna make sure this key's off. Hey there, hon. That's some bug making a noise in the woods. Stay there, hon. Hey, Samka. Oh, good, Jeff. Oh, did it, Julie? Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I know that's what's going to happen. I would have loved to kept driving, believe me. It's a pain in the ass. What'd it cost you to get that engine replaced? Yeah, I'm way off to the side, big time. Yeah, this is a raceway, I-20, both ways. People get pissed at you if you're in the right lane doing 75. Get to do one thing either. No books, no coffee, no lunch. For me. I'm lucky, really. If this would have happened about 50% of the places I traveled to earlier in the week, there's no cell phone service. They were running a big speed thing at the Crawfordville exit this morning. The state police and the county get together, and the county guy, I think he was using a handheld up on the overpass, and they were nailing him for 2 exits. Yeah, I believe it, Julie. Yep. $84. Yeah, it's not too bad. Daisy, are you hot, hon? You're damn right, man. Dragon's milk's hard to find. They get this voodoo. It's not quite as good that they sell at the party store. And I got some Duvel the other day. You know, it's weird. The last week, I really haven't felt like drinking. I can barely drink one. It's strange. Yeah, I mean, this is the roll of the dice on high mileage vehicles. I accept it. I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, I got 364 on the Astrovan, and that needs a lifter, which I'd like to get fixed, but you know, it's hard getting those engine repairs done now. It is. I like that van, but it just is like a second one, but I'm gonna need to bite the bullet and get something else. But this is what happens when you do this. But this AAA Plus, it gives you a 200-mile ride home. And I'm a gambler, so that'll at least get me to a repair facility and a hotel, and usually home. I don't think I'd have quite the nerve for that if I thought I was going to get stuck with a $500 towing bill everywhere that I went. Well, how do you like it, Julie? Yeah, I'm going to try and get somebody to fix it. I just haven't got around to it. You know, I came down here, and this will force me to get another vehicle. You know, Marty wants me to get a pickup truck. He thinks I'd use it, but I mean, I like a pickup truck, but 99% of the time I don't need one. Plus, he's got 2 of them. And I don't want to be driving around like an all-wheel drive, even if you can engage it and disengage it. If I take some of these long road trips, I don't need an all-wheel drive car on an 8,000-mile trip during the summer or fall. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we call them party stores in Michigan, but most places they don't. They always want to know what you're talking about. Hey, Jackie. Jackie, this van's for sale today. Give you a hell of a deal. Yeah, there's no way I'm buying and paying for one of these new vehicles. Absolutely not. Well, I hope it's true. I hope it's true. I wish the best of luck for Maddie. I really do. I mean, and I'm just hoping it's true. No, I agree, Julie. Yeah, I agree. Jackie, I wouldn't buy this anyway, to tell you the truth. I'll tell you why. The repairs on these things are absolutely killer. They kill you for parts. Let me give you an example. I got everything gone through. I thought I did. Obviously not. They said they checked everything, but I mean, I can't really fault them for not replacing an oil line that didn't need it at the time. But let me give you an example. So I figured I'd get the whole thing gone through, you know, transmission change, everything looked at, new spark plugs, wires, distributor cap, all the filters, blah, blah, blah. It's $550 of labor just to move the engine up enough to put the spark plugs in. And the spark plugs are like 70 bucks each. As it turns out, I did pay for the labor to get them up, but the spark plugs were newer. So the guy that had it, an old couple had this from down here actually, must have replaced them, but it didn't come up on a Carfax, and I just didn't want to roll the dice. I wanted them new. So I still had to pay the labor even though I didn't replace the plugs because they were relatively new. But all the parts on these things cost an absolute fortune. Just Google it, look up Toyota parts. And if you're in a small town, I think you are, I'm not sure, and you go to like a mom and pop place where they don't have a lot of foreign cars, it's just a big pain in the ass. Yeah, I've got AAA Plus. Actually, I could have called them, but it takes a long time sometimes, and I'm going to have it towed to a repair facility near my house that isn't open yet. So I didn't want, you know, they call there and all this bullshit and check it on the internet to make sure you're not getting it towed to somebody who sold it to. So they're, you know, we got a car haul trailer. Daisy will be in air conditioning. Plus, they don't need to take you and your pet anymore. In the old days, the value of AAA was getting a ride home. Well, if they want to be sticklers, they can say that, you know, we don't want people in the cab. You're going to have to arrange for alternate transportation. Well, that would have been Marty, so might as well do everything in one fell swoop. You can use it right away. It's cheap too. Get the AAA Plus. It's worth every dime. It's like 120 bucks a year. I've had it for like 25 years. It's bailed me out a bunch of times. You can use it right away because they give you a temporary number, but get the Plus. If you get the regular AAA, you're still in the same trouble, 3-mile tow, and then after that it's $99 a mile. I mean, the value is to get you a ride home. Yeah, he's got a car hauler. Yep. Yeah, he's bringing that out. Yep. Hey, Squirrely. Yeah, I mean, I could have done it through AAA if I wanted to, but for the reasons I just said, this is a lot less bullshit. Yeah, that's exactly it. I've talked if they gave a commission, I'd get a good check, because I've told a lot of people they didn't even know about it. The big value is the ride home plus your vehicle. Yeah, it's worth every dime, man. And you get discounts on all sorts of stuff because you have it, and you know, it's worth, when you got a higher mileage vehicle, you can't beat it. But I think they call it something. It used to be AAA Plus. Now it's the AAA Enhanced or the AAA RV or something like that. Oh, thank you, really. Yeah, I hope Maddie's doing that. I do, you know. I hope she is, man. I mean, I can't help but wonder why now, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah, but that towing with your car insurance isn't worth a shit usually. Look at the restrictions on that and the distance they'll tow you. Usually it's 3 miles. The AAA gets you home with your vehicle. Have a good day, Conan. Yeah, I hope she goes to rehab. What happened to Gerald, though? Was he going to go into rehab, too? Is that what was going to happen? Gerald was going to go into rehab? Hey, Mary. No, I know, Dave. That's how it is nowadays. Yep. Offering you. The dealers are offering. Marty gets called on that 450 Super Duty, wanting him to trade it in, but there's nothing. Everything's on back order. Those Chevrolet Astro vans like I got, they're selling now with 250,000 miles on them for what I paid new 19 years ago. Who gave him a ride to rehab? Does anybody know? Oh, thank you, Archie. Oh, thank you, Jackie. I mean, I'm not saying this is what's happening with Maddie and Gerald. And, you know, I didn't know a damn thing about heroin or any of that stuff. All as I did, and you guys that have been around a while know it, was doing photography, the same stuff I did all week here, videos. It's crappy videos I'm doing now because I don't have my good camera equipment. And I'd be driving around. I just happened to run into those prostitutes when Detroit was rock bottom. This was like 7-8 years ago. And what kind of got me interested was they were buying like lunch meat for stray cats and dogs. I'd see them buy hamburger buns and throw them to the birds in the winter, and they were just kind people. And now that area is shut down now because of that new Gordie Howe Bridge. So I would go and get both papers, the Free Press and the News, a large coffee, and then I'd go down to the river and wait for freighters to go by. And I went to the same place all the time, that BP right down there from where Maddie and Gerald were at. And then I just thought one day, I'm going to get this story from these people. It wasn't ever to get a viral video or a successful YouTube channel. None of that. I mean, whatever that is, right? And that's how it started. So, I didn't know anything. I knew heroin was bad. People were on it, and I didn't have the faintest idea what it took to get off it or just how bad it was. So I can tell you this, in the 7 or 8 years that I kind of met people and, witnessed firsthand what happened, usually, and I'm not saying this is happening with Maddie and Gerald. What happens is it goes on, everybody likes them, there's a lot of drama, which brings a lot of attention. You got 100 people that want them to overdose, 100 people that want them to be housewives, and 100 people that are racist, that don't want a black guy with a white girl. So you've got all the makings of a popular, view-intensive channel. Maddie is a perfect example of that. But I've noticed with a lot of people that I cross paths with that what happens, eventually, everybody loves them at the beginning. I did. You want to help them out, you give them clothes, food, and then, nothing really changes. It's the same old, same old. And eventually what will happen is their looks start to deteriorate. They're not getting the money from the Johns like they used to. The good people out there with had good intentions, they don't want to send money anymore. So the well of money dries up after a year or two, and nothing's changed. And nobody likes getting lied to. So what eventually happens is the Johns dry up, the good people that really had a sincere interest in helping them dried up, and you're desperate for money as a working girl or a drug addict. And the only last fell swoop that's available is to do a rehab. Sharon's a perfect example of that. You gotta fake a rehab because there's nothing else to do. You've pulled every trick out of the book. You've been in a bathing suit, you've been in a bike, you ran around in your bra and panties, and the money's dried up. So you gotta do some kind of rehab deal. And hopefully it works, but it's such a low batting average. I mean, I hate to sound negative about it, but the reality of it is, at least I'm just talking about with my experience, I've just seen too many times where this rehab thing is used as one last fell swoop to get a pay off the dope man or have one big giant party before it's tits up. And I hope that doesn't happen, because here's the problem. Let's take for an example if you waved a magic wand over Maddie and she was doing fantastic. Far as I know, and I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, Maddie had a million chances to go back to life in Belleville. She had a stepdad that would support her, or other dad that would support her, a stepmom that would support her. There were all the things that she's claiming she's trying to do now have been available to her from day one. Housing. There's a guy down in Michigan, down like towards Toledo. He offered him a place to stay. Tiffany H. offered him a house to stay in Hamtramck free of charge. So I'm not so sure if you waved a magic wand over Maddie and Gerald's head and they came clean. Staying clean, and I'm not saying that this is a bad idea to get out and, infuse yourself with regular society again. But once you taste a bite of that street life, as bad as it is, and as dysfunctional and up and down as it is, it's like they're thrill seekers, that people like to bungee jump, other people like to jump out of a plane with a flying suit. People have thought processes, and some people, there's only something that stimulates them, and the street life is that. And I just don't think post-rehab that Maddie or Gerald are interested in living in a suburb with Spot the dog in the backyard, working at Napa Auto Parts, and Maddie working at McDonald's drive-thru. And I'm not saying that this is accurate, but I'm just saying that what people expect post-rehab, you gotta want it, And with certain personalities, the street life, as bad as it is, and the high mortality rate, it's more interesting to them than having 2 jobs, living in a suburb, and a credit card that's paid up. So that's the problem. And the toughest pill to swallow is there are some people that don't want what you want for them. And if that's not in the cards, it's not going to work. But for different reasons than you thought. A lot of people think that, well, if they just went to rehab, well, that's a very small cog in the wheel of things. It really is. I don't know if she went to rehab or not. Evidently, she's going to rehab or it's close by. I don't really know. And honestly, I'm not saying this as a knock to Maddie or Jiro. I wish the best for them. I really do. Everybody, Becky, anybody I ever met down there, that is a terrible life. Just the day in and day out. They're like civilian, drug-addicted Navy SEALs. I mean, you're not getting any sleep, you're not getting any nutrition, you got people on YouTube stalking you, the cops are rude, people treat you like shit, you know, you're peeing in a bucket. It's a terrible life. And you would think, well, yeah, we know it is. That's why we want the best for these people. But as terrible as it is to you, there are people that feel comfortable down there. Yeah, I believe that's right. But and I'm not saying, I would love to tell you that hard work and it's a good idea and there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and that everybody's going to live happily ever after. But it's just like these guys that get out of prison and go commit a crime to get back in prison because that's where they feel comfortable. They don't want to work some bullshit job from 9 to 5, be behind on their bills, walk to work. The prison, at least you don't have responsibilities there. You don't have freedoms either, but with some people, that's a better alternative. And to me, that's what it seems like with drug addiction. As terrible as it is, you notice that you don't have any drug addicts down there trying to get them to go to rehab because they're comfortable with where they're at. I shouldn't say comfortable. They're in a weird way satisfied. Yeah, thank you. I don't know if I'm intelligent or not. I mean, the older I get, I used to think in high school that somebody that was intelligent got on the honor roll, which I never did. And then I thought it was somebody that had a long, successful marriage. And then I thought it was having a successful business. And I'd say in my mid-30s, I don't really have an idea what intelligent is, to tell you the truth. I don't know what it is. I used to think I knew, but I don't anymore. Yeah, it's worth a try. And you're going to have... That's why Maddie and Gerald are so popular, because you got people like Jackie that's a good person that really wish the best for them. And then you got people out there that are racist and they're hoping she dies. And if they could facilitate that, they would. Then you got all these crazy wacko people that are stalking them, running around taking photos of them. That's why just in the last few days, some of the moderators, I told them, I want you to go to these other channels if you get a chance, if you feel like doing it. If you don't, that's okay. And anybody you see on these other channels that are like getting involved with these people that follow Maddie and Gerald and take pictures of them, even Nitty, all this stuff, I want you to block them. I don't want those people around here. I don't, man. There's something wrong with them. It's stalking. I hope they get arrested. So that's why, again, I'm telling you, and here's another thing too. I could be wrong on this. I hope I am. If Maddie went to rehab and got clean and got a job and was doing well, nobody would watch her channel. People are so full of shit. People are evil. It's just like a car wreck. People slowing down. They're not slowing down to help. They're slowing down to see if those people are more fucked up than they are. Human behavior is weird. I don't count on it. I don't. That's why I'm so aloof with everything. People are full of shit. Yeah, drama sells. Yeah, drama sells if you're an idiot with no life. And like I've said before, you take all these people that are into these drama channels, most of them don't work. They don't want to work. They've never been successful at anything. They're unhealthy. They're troublemakers. 50% of them have autistic kids or kids that are in the criminal justice system. They're just the trash of the earth. You'd never want any of these stalking drama channels to be your next door neighbor. They would drive you fucking crazy. They have nothing but evil on their mind. They do nothing but want to see people fail. Same with these wackos that are calling up and calling Department of Social Services on Tiffany's and Michigan's kids. Tiffany in California. Tiffany in California is a fucking kook too. But she's not a bad mother. You know, tying up the criminal justice system with, you know, or the social service system, investigating allegations that aren't even going on. They know them to be false. This fucking kook in Prince Edward Island, Ollie's another fucking stalking troublemaker. They just go around calling people's neighbors. Their lives are miserable. They're all broke, unsuccessful, and the only way they get any extra dopamine is through causing somebody problems, and they get excited about doing that because their life sucks. That's right, Dave. Yeah, it really does, man. You just read the comments on Maddie's and Gerald's when she's on there. I mean, you got to be one. The good news is I'm 100% believer in karma. The problem is the time frame. You'll see some motherfucker that does nothing but fuck people and cause trouble as a scamming welfare programs, stealing, and it just seems like they never have any bad luck. But I've learned over my life that's the time frame that's the problem. But all these people doing all this shit, you mark my words, I guarantee you this, you watch how Sharon's life ends. If she keeps up what she's doing, or that transgender fake in Texas, Angie, watch how their lives end up for being phony, troublemaking instigators. Mark my words, there's two perfect examples. These people starting these stalking channels, going around taking pictures of people while their husband's at work or shopping. Yeah, I believe in karma. No, they caught up with all the Nazis. Look how those guys died. Look how those guys died. They were eventually persecuted, most of them, and they died shitty deaths when they found out where they were at. Yes, they did. And you don't know what happened to them either. You're assuming based on like a loosely fitting narrative on a documentary you watched that they lived happily ever after. I'm not saying that some of them didn't. I'm just telling you my experience. These pricks and troublemakers and stalkers, they get their due in the end of time. They do. I really believe that, Paul. I do. It's just, like I said, the time period. And if you don't believe me, you just watch how Sharon's life ends. That's my gold standard. As I said before, Maddie and Gerald were nice to her. They tried to help her with her channel, and you see the shit she's doing? Did you see what that dumbass did the other day, going and stepping in wet cement, acting like it was an accident? She's a prime example of life's gonna bite her in the ass. Hey, Alethea. Who, Simca? Tell me the names on that. Tell me the names. There's no current Nazi working in the Space Center that I know of. Hey, Wilford, you might want to pick up a dictionary today at the dollar store. Yeah, well, it's real. Yeah, she stepped in, she uploaded a video of stepping in freshly poured cement, acting like a 6-year-old that didn't know what she was doing. Yeah, but Simca, you're bringing up isolated incidents. You're not bringing up what happened to most Nazis. That's not fair. I mean, I can understand why you don't like Nazis, but you're taking like a isolated example and making it look like none of them got bad karma, which is nonsense. A lot of them got executed and sent to prison for the rest of their life. I mean, I wish life doesn't work that way. I wish they'd have got them all. That's terrible. It really is. It's terrible. Now, I'm not complaining about this, right? And it's absolutely horrific what happened to the Jews during the Holocaust. And I'm not complaining, but I just want to mention this too. You got these Holocaust museums, which I'm all for. Persecution of Nazis, absolutely. But you know what? There were a lot of people that Hitler killed other than Jews. Tons of other people. But when you talk about the Holocaust, it's if it was only Jews, and that's not accurate. Who, Wilford? No, but it was a slaughtering of innocent people by Hitler. It wasn't all Jews. I mean, I'm not making light of what happened to the Jews, but lots of people were killed by this motherfucker in gas chambers, and they weren't Jewish. It's that one out in Texas, that the fucking con artist that's putting up nasty, disparaging videos about Maddie and talking about her thumb and all that shit. Yeah, no, there's all sorts of stuff like that, man. Oh, thank you, really. I mean, you know, it's like hard. Plus, it's hard to like anytime. Another thing you can. It's just my opinion, which doesn't mean shit. I know that. Like documentaries, man. You know, you can make a terrible documentary. Everybody thinks you watch Netflix, and you think like, you know, it's a documentary. It's accurate. That's absolute nonsense. Look how these goddamn history teachers in high schools and junior highs and elementary schools have told outright bold lies about the Native Americans to white kids. They've lied their ass off about Thanksgiving and what really happened. So you could, just because it's a documentary, it could be just a biased, subjective, inaccurate lie that you should have got a D- on if you wrote a book report in high school. Hey, Greenies. Seriously, man, I get this, you know, 60 Minutes is biased as hell too. They can make you look like Man of the Year on Time Magazine or the biggest fucking schlong that ever graced the earth. It's all depending on what agenda they want on the 20-minute spiel they're going to do when they air it on Sunday night. That's it, Paula. Yeah, it's just bullshit. That's why I'm back to doing what I was doing when I started on YouTube. It's more fun. I don't want to be known on YouTube. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they'll lie about that. Yeah. It's terrible, man. All you got to do is Google anything. Thank God for the internet now. You know, I used to give money to St. Jude's. Not a lot, maybe $100 a month for like ever, until I found out that they misappropriated a bunch of the donations, and it just turned me off on them, and I never sent money again. Yeah, that's it, sipping. Yeah, well, I mean, there's no shortage of you know, scams on GoFundMe and people faking cancer. It's just a crazy world now. Yeah, you can't, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I never got caught up in it sometimes myself, you know, earlier on, and then I saw the light. You know, you want to react to these morons. And when they're getting you swatted at restaurants, you get pissed and you say shit, or you talk about how much they weigh, and you know, you get mad and you react like that. And I just spend some time rethinking about it and try not to do it. Breaker 19. Breaker 19. There's my buddy right there. He just blew his horn. He'll get off at the exit. Yeah, I try to get out. You know, I go on like people bother Maddie and Gerald and stuff. And, you know, I call them fat and stupid. Which honestly is accurate as hell, but it's not a sign of like a discipline or trying to have good character. You just sound bad when you say that about people. I've done it myself. I wish I didn't. But I haven't done it in a long time. Maybe a little bit right now. But it's because it just pisses me off so bad that YouTube allows a platform for stalking, but they don't want me asking a prostitute what drug she's on. Okay, Daisy, Marty's here. Have a good day, Jackie. Hey, if you want this car, it's on a 187 mile marker. I suggest you bring a tow dolly. No, I'm taking it. Marty's here. We're putting on a car thing. I don't want to get distracted when she sees Marty. Oh, here's the thing right here. This guy. Stay there, hon. Hey, thanks for stopping. Okay? Yeah, my buddy's putting a car hauler here. I got AAA, but they take forever sometimes, so he just got me. Thank you. Appreciate it. He's getting off right now.